I'm gonna discuss about the Western and Eastern differences. Frame of reference. In Western, there is a separation between philosophy and religion or spirituality, while in Eastern, religion and philosophy are intertwined. The source of knowledge. In Western, it is a made use of reason rather than faith to pursue wisdom, while in Eastern, the trusted intuition and is often associated with religious beliefs. The notable philosophers in Western are Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, René Descartes, and John Locke, while in Eastern, the religion or beliefs that is Buddhism, Buddha, Confucius, Confucianism, and Lao Tzu, which is the Taoism. In view of self in Western, it is egocentric, while in Eastern, it is sociocentric. In the theological view of Western, it is monotheistic, while in Eastern, the beliefs there is polytheistic, which is many. Lastly, in the ideal, in the Western, it is a self-actualization through personal growth, while in Eastern, it is to achieve a balanced life, find your role in the society.
As I can see, Filipino traits of being individualistic is making decisions for themselves, especially in a situation that they don't have their family or friends beside them in order to decide. So they have to decide on their own. Also in life, sometimes we need to have a quick decision, so we need to decide on our own. Also, I can see some people or Filipino that they want to be alone because for them they feel for themselves peaceful and they don't need anyone for a meantime to have a relaxation. As for the Filipino traits of being a collectivist, people in the Philippines likes help each other in order to live or in order to survive in different situations, just like for example in typhoon or different calamities. Also, if we have plenty of food, sometimes we give it to the people in the streets who can't afford food or they don't have money to buy a food. Also, I can see to the people here in the Philippines that they believe in many beliefs that, just like for example, if we help others, there will be a blessing coming to us, just like that. As for myself, the characteristic of being individualistic is by making decisions on my own, just like for example, going to college, where should I go and what should I take in college. This is based on my personal preference or likings, not by my friends or family likings. Also, I have a trait that I want to be alone sometimes because it helps me relax and I can do all my things by being alone. Also, in studies, I want to be alone because it helps me to focus more on the lessons and to my goal. Also, when there's people around me or looking or watching me on my doings or when I am studying, I feel like they interrupt me already. So I want to be alone sometimes. Lastly, my characteristic of being a collectivist is being a team player in a certain sport. Just like, for example, my hobby before is playing basketball. As a team player, you value your teammates and you are trying to help each other in order to win the game. Also, you value your teammates' opinion because it will help the team in order to win the game. Also, I like to participate in different bayanihan, just like for example, helping people that that what do you call this? People who suffer in typhoon or different calamity. I I gave some food to them or anything that I have excess in our house or in my room in order to help, because I want people, or I want no one will be left behind, always bringing people up and not bringing them down.
As a Filipino, I have noticed some scenario that makes us, or including myself, an individualistic people. To cite an example, there's this thing in me that in some time I don't like getting help from others. For example, whenever I need something for myself and for my school, I don't usually ask money from my parents, and most commonly if I have a spare money to buy. Being individualist at this part is something that people want to be unique or to stand out among others. Just like in the case of my siblings, or whenever they need something, they immediately ask money right away from my parents. And unlike me, I possess individualistic trait because I practice somehow self-dependency, I think. And I also think that it also includes pride of a person when we want something for ourselves. Moving on, when it comes to Filipinos being collectivistic, these are the one of the things that comes to my mind with regards also to our culture and deed as a Filipino. Being a collectivistic person is somehow a great title to hold. I can make a concrete example using the situation in my family. My brother is close to being a professional engineer, so his title as an engineer of the family put so much pressure on him, because my family, especially my grandparents, told him that the reason why they sent my brother to college is because they want him to pass the favor in us, which is his siblings. In the future, as I can see on our culture, we tend to do the same thing. That the so-called panganays are the one who will be in charge of school and many others. Though it may seem to be somehow a positive trait, but I think it can also bother the responsibility that a parent should shoulder. Personally, I don't take this negative or in a negative way. To be honest, it is very fulfilling to help, especially our parents. But on the other hand, it should be taken into place. That's why the trait of being collectivistic should be properly observed. So let's go now to the application of being an individualistic person and a collectivistic person when it comes to myself. So first, me as an individualistic. Putting my own decision first above anything else is my mantra in life. I want to make decisions that is based on my preferences and my likes and not on others. Because in life, if I commit wrong decisions, I will not blame anyone except myself. And when it comes to making tough decisions, that's when the time that I will ask for suggestions or thoughts with my trustees or with my families. And in the end, I won't have any regrets because I know that in the first place, I am the one who will make the final decision and not others. So for me, putting up my own decision is very much important because I am the one who will live my life and not on others. When it comes to celebrating my victories, I can say that I am the type of person that will spoil myself when I think I deserve that thing, especially if I worked hard for that. So for me, sometimes it is not about being selfish to putting up your own, because at some point in our life we need to be selfish for our own sake and for our own growth. So lastly, let us now go on to me as a collectivistic. Being a collectivistic person includes optimism and selflessness. Just like in being individualistic, I also possesses a trait of being an individualistic or a collectivistic rather. One of the example is me being so much attached in helping. I can say that I am a very helpful person because there's comes to the point that I can help others but I can't help myself. I can also say that I am a well-driven person because I know how to put myself in others' shoes because I know how hard it was when put in that situation. And to add, I also embody being a collectivistic person when I want to work with a particular group to formulate a much better idea. I like getting suggestions and feedbacks and treat that as an opportunity to do something better. And as I have said a while ago, I like to help and I like to succeed, or I like to be successful together with my friends and loved ones because I think that my progress is somehow because of the help that they provided me.
Having an individualist mindset as a Filipino has a unique way of developing a person's character because you become independent with so many things in life. You can stand on your own feet, like you don't rely on other people, which is a very good thing because you won't feel pressure from them. The pressure will only come from yourself. In my environment, most people don't have this kind of mindset because they rely too much on each other. I'm not sure whether I have an individualist mindset or a collective mindset, but I think I've been dependent on my parents and my friends when it comes to making decisions. I make decisions in my life based on their opinions, the people who plays important role in my life. So the majority of my ideals or beliefs really came from them. And every time something has been achieved, I celebrate it with them. But these things that I've learned from them, I think I need to outgrow them with this because I always see these were also the things that held them off to see bigger things in life. I like to compare myself to them so that I can outgrow them. Filipinos are very religious. We are very resilient. Filipinos take pride in their families. Filipinos are very respectful. Filipinos value traditions and culture. Filipinos love to sing. I've always wondered about the difference between Eastern and Western apart from their geographical location. Now I can say as a Filipino, we Filipinos, even though we were also colonized by the Westerners, I can still say that we are still an Eastern people, not just geographically but also in a lot of ways on how we live. Yeah, we adopted some of their cultures and traditions, but we preserve these kinds in an Eastern way. For me, most Filipinos were raised as religious persons. Then religions made us a deep person on how we think.